Because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Yes. That makes a difference.
That's a completely different fight, all right? Because Spence has been given to believe that he's every bit as good an offensive fighter as Terence Crawford or anybody else that he's going to be in with. So he learned something different Saturday night. But Floyd Mayweather never disabused himself of the understanding that he was a more of a backup counterpuncher than a go-forward counterpuncher, regardless of what he did to Diego Corrales. And that's a different kind of approach and effect than what Crawford achieved the other night. So that a Floyd Mayweather beatdown or one-sided win was much more of a paint job than what Crawford.
Wild, because, like, if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff.
Why is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being golfers.
Who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather, prime for prime?
Crawford.
Really? Why?
Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen. And the ability that he has to switch, fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique.
That type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll be this.
But you capping, bro. I don't even thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, I'll be this. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plot.
I ain't never been that type of person.
Nothing can hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. Like I said, I had to step back, regroup, get a new team, and came back.
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing.
Really.
For me, pound for pound, number one is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter.
I think it's Crawford. I have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
You've seen plenty of debates about greatness in boxing, but few have drawn as much heat as the question of whether Terence Bud Crawford has surpassed Floyd Mayweather. The discussion exploded again after Crawford's demolition of Canelo Alvarez, when Floyd fired back at Bud's claim of being the better fighter. Suddenly, champions and analysts from across the sport were weighing in, and the boxing world was split down the middle. Top-level fighters like Dmitry Bivol, Alexander Usyk, and Artur Beterbiev didn't hesitate to back Crawford. They praised his ability to adapt in the ring, dominate across weight classes, and maintain composure under the brightest lights. One summed it up best: "For me, pound for pound number one is Terence Crawford. I like this man. It's a great fighter." Hearing elite champion's voice, that kind of respect only deepened the conversation. Crawford himself clarified that he never looked at Mayweather as a rival. He stressed that he has always been a fan, not someone who fuels himself with jealousy. Never that type of guy, he said. "I've always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting." Still, When pressed about a hypothetical prime versus prime matchup, Bud didn't hesitate. Me. No questions. Max Kellerman stepped in to break the debate down analytically. He admitted Mayweather's resume is richer with famous names. Plus, Floyd's speed and defense were unmatched. But Kellerman noted that Floyd was selective once he left lightweight, often timing fights to his advantage. In contrast, he argued, Crawford's willingness to face anyone at any time strengthens his claim to greatness, even if the names on his record don't match Floyd's volume.
Take Floyd Mayweather in his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it, I mean, because, and I told people this, I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd, it's not that he trains, I mean, it's his life. And from the very beginning, he's like,
around those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of that.
Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's going to reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He going to reach with that right hand against Crawford? He going to get slept reaching with that back hand the way he reaches with.
And compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
When's in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? That's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah.
To start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather, how do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd.
Bob Arum added his own perspective, saying that in a prime for prime clash, he'd lean toward Crawford because of Bud's versatility. Because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen, the ability that he has to switch. Fighters aren't used to that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent. Jim Lampley drew a sharp contrast between the two styles. He described Floyd's dominance as a paint job, controlled, technical, suffocating, while Crawford, in his view, overwhelms opponents with destructive intent. Tim Bradley went even further, saying flatly, Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. Bradley argued Floyd's past struggles with southpaws like Zab Judah would be magnified against Crawford's precision and power. Yet Crawford himself also made sure to honor Mayweather's place in history. Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me. He even insisted Floyd would have beaten Pacquiao in their primes, praising his dedication and lifelong pursuit of perfection.
It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, and make up something just to, I got my opinion on, how the fights would go and, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have made, they kind of two different eras though, even though they was fighting at the same time. Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just...
Comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather.
We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah,
He's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in
But
that
the
sense
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else? Yeah.
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out.
Terence Bud Crawford, greater than Floyd Mayweather, or better than Floyd Mayweather. Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years.
Also, if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
Yeah. What was Canelo? What? 21? 21? 23? 25?
yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Long arms, and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford, this is his era.
Canelo Alvarez weighed in after his own loss, stunning many by saying, "No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather." Shane Mosley echoed that view, citing Crawford's size, reach, and ability to thrive across divisions as advantages Floyd never had. Others, like Sean Porter, leaned back toward Mayweather, calling him the ultimate chess master and OG nobody could outthink. The debate has become more than just a fantasy fight. Showbiz, the adult, put it plainly. Floyd may remain the greater figure in terms of resume and legacy, but after his latest exploits, Crawford might simply be the better fighter. As you weigh these voices, you realize this is less about settling an impossible question and more about appreciating what each fighter represents. Mayweather mastered perfection in business at the same time, protecting his zero. Crawford, by contrast, thrives on risk, proving himself by stepping into challenges few others would dare. 2 eras, 2 philosophies, and 1 debate that won't fade anytime soon.